Well, everyone, we have one final thing to do before we say goodbye to Alan Wake 2. And it's time to go over the new changes in the New Game Plus run. First things up, right from the beginning, we have a new intro. The dialogue Alan says at the beginning of the game is I think, completely changed. Here we go. I'm going to play it for you, and you can see it yourself.
Back to the beginning, with the memory of the past loop already fading fast. But while it lingers, I know there's hope. We're not doomed to repeat our failures in an eternal loop. This is a spiral. A fictional poet once said, "Beyond the shadow you settle for, there is a miracle illuminated. I will not settle for a shadow. I'll find the miracle through the night." It's not just victims and monsters. I see now there are heroes as well. We can find our way through the darkness. We will break through the surface. We will emerge into the light.
So Alan clearly knows he is in a loop now. Very different from the Alan we first met when we, played through the first time, retaining at least some of the knowledge from what we had done previously. Next thing will be found by Saga as we're heading back to our car to go to the police station to investigate Nightingale's body.
To do what? Entertain some fantasy? Projecting their desires?
Saga bent down to inspect the body on the table. Somehow it felt familiar. The straps, the heart, the mutilated corpse laying on the rain-soaked wood. Like deja vu. She chased the source of the feeling. Found nothing. None of the victims from her past cases resembled this one. It didn't feel like anything from her past. More like something from a dream. From a life she could barely remember. Maybe one that wasn't even hers. Then the feeling passed. Like a shadow in the trees shifting with the wind. Saga blinked, shook the feeling from her head. She turned her focus back on the work. There was a lot to do. Casey and the deputy were watching her. She had a feeling this would be an exciting case.
So I take this one to be either Saga remembering part of the loop too, or Alan trying to implant the memory of the loop into Saga. Not sure which way it should be taken. I think I take it in that Saga somehow remembers too, though. Next up is another manuscript found by Saga, and it's a poem we should recognize.
The writer of the first word, not the writer of the last. With the terror of the light and the shadow cast. The third eye now open to project the night. This is the moment to write. This is the ritual to lead you on. Your friends will meet him when you are gone.
So this was one of the threshold or crossover poems. I don't know exactly how we want to refer to them as, but we saw this poem on the walls in Alan's dark place. In fact, Saga is going to find manuscripts for each of the crossover poems we saw throughout the game, this time in the real world or light world. We'll get to the other two a little later on, though. We're going through order of the game, and the next thing we're going to do is go back to Alan's side of the story. And if you remember, during the first playthrough, there were TVs Alan would encounter that would almost flash on for a second and end up just playing static. Well, in New Game Plus, we get to see what was there. Here's the first one.
broken here. Maybe time never worked the way we think it does. It loops around, and yet it goes forward. A spiral. I thought I was finding remnants of the earlier loops, earlier drafts of my writing. The murder sites, that I had left clues, mementos for myself to guide me on, but maybe that's only part of it. If time is not a straight line, then there are loops beyond these loops. Vast complex superstructures beyond what's happening to me now, ahead of me. And I'm there as well, a version of me, something I have become, some elevated, enlightened virgin, an archon, a demiurge, a demon of some sort playing a secret game, building something, his past self a pawn to get him there. A deus ex machina pushing me there. I hate the idea of crazy, intrusive thought. And yet, no crazier than anything else here.
Which version of myself was I? Where was I in this grand loop?
This to me is just more and more proof that Alan is remembering more and more of previous loops, knowing the fact that he is actually in a loop, or not even a loop, really that he's in the spiral. It's interesting that he doesn't know where still. I think by the end of this game we know where, but we'll talk about that a little later on. For now, we're going to go back to Saga, and we're going to find another one of the poems, this time in Cynthia Weaver's room at the kind of retirement home.
Thanks.
Lost on the shore between the forest and the ocean, the owl and the deer reflected in motion. In his room he will hurt her, in hers he is caught. His story ends, her story does not. This is the ritual to lead you on. Your friends will meet him when you are gone.
So there's our second poem. Next new manuscript for Saga actually ties into the Lake House DLC more than it necessarily does anything new for Alan, but I still think it's worth a quick listen.
Up.
Copy.
Dr. Jules Marmont sprinted down the corridor, his lab coat fluttered after him. Red lights flashed on the walls, sirens screamed. Marmont couldn't stop smiling. It was his experiment that had triggered the alarms. In his world, alarms meant progress. This could be the breakthrough he had been waiting for. He would be the one to get his name in the annals of FBC history. Not as White Diana, not Darling, that smirking asshole. At the far end of the corridor, the lights suddenly blinked out. The red lights went dark with increasing speed. A wall of darkness rushing toward him. The alarms warbled and died. Marmont stopped in his tracks. He admired the purity of the darkness as it swallowed him. A final spark of pride flashed through his mind. This was his work, his breakthrough.
So there we go. Not much for the main game, but a little bit of extra for the Lake House if you enjoyed that, which I very much did. After that, we got the third transfer poem from Saga.
A pale balloon in the sky, float and sink deeper. Night springs when bright falls for this sleeper. The surface disturbed, the reflection now a traitor. In the cavity of the skull, turned to a crater. This is the ritual to lead you on. Your friends will meet him when you are gone.
We got one more manuscript on Saga's side, and it's definitely an interesting one, because its title is It's Not a Lake.
Hey, where are my chimes? I threw them out. Chimes are not rock and roll. Yeah, they are.
The surface of the lake was a black mirror. The upside-down reflection identical yet darker. A window into a darker world than ours. A doorway. A hush so profound it rang like a scream. As if the last echo of the terror had just died. Inside the steep cliffs of the caldera, everything echoed. An echo chamber. Like a fractured skull. A shadow fell on Cauldron Lake. Something of impossible scale loomed over it, blocking the sky. Ati, the janitor, leaned close. Took a hold of the rim of the crater. Lifted up his janitor's bucket. The water sloshed. Swirled inside like a vortex. Gently humming a tango, he poured the water on the attic floor.
So maybe it's not a lake, it's a door? Or maybe it's a Sam. I don't know, but I think this really leans into my theory that Ati is some kind of god, right? I mean, what else could it possibly be? Him looming over like that, the water in his bucket. I don't know. We still don't know, and I'm looking forward to the future to find out more, but it's where I lean. That'll be it for Saga for a little bit. She has a little bit more later, but we're actually going to jump back over to Alan, and we've got 2 more TVs to watch, and I'm going to let these play back to back, and we'll talk about them after. But you're gonna see somebody you recognize, and then that person's gonna recognize themselves again. Enjoy.
Of the Federal Bureau of Control. I think the signal is coming through now. Are you receiving me? Something shifted. The previously observed interference disrupting my broadcast has gone. Fluctuation in gravitational forces. Either something moved out of the way or my relative position to it changed. But the alignment or the condition of this whole plane spiraled to a more favorable position. The ordinary rules of reality do not apply here. The best I can describe this place is a dreamscape. But who's the dreamer? And how do you wake up from this dream? I've been taking readings with the limited equipment I've been able to secure. Some riveting data accumulating. Hypotheses taking shape. My struggle with this is that the way this place works makes any hypothesis immediately come back to alter and contaminate the data. Anyway, I've been working to capture, isolate, and amplify certain frequencies from the background radiation ambient noise, so let's see what happens. There. The deeper into the dark depths I got, peeling off the layers of the dark place, like the ocean zones, from twilight to midnight, to abyssal to the deepest trenches. The closer I'm going now, peeling off this voice, the narration, from twilight to midnight. It keeps going forever. This leads me to believe it's what's holding this place together. It's making it real. Is this the voice of the dreamer? What's strange is it sounds a little bit like my voice. sentimental reason. I don't know. That said, to the best of my calculations, subjectively, this is my day 665. That's a long time. I have explored every conceivable avenue of research, exhausted every scientific method of investigation I know. It's all dead ends. I feel like I need something else. Something else entirely. Some mad, creative mindset to help me. I'm not a scientist, an artist. This is a place for an artist. Oh. Hey, man, how you doing? Hello. Darling, Dr. Casper Darling, it is so good to meet you. Well, hello, darling. I'm Tom. Tom Zane. Have we met? You look familiar. Well, you sound familiar. Hold on. You work out a lot, don't you? I mean, look at you. You're swole. Well, I am active. Yeah. You wouldn't happen to know a way out of here, would you? A drink? Oh, cheers. Keep it. You know what? You and I, we should join forces. Come up with a plan for escape. Art and science combined to form an unstoppable force. Yes. 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 We have to start to methodically test and eliminate various works of art within bounds of which you could wildly improve.
We now know what happened to Dr. Casper. He is seemingly in the dark place, one of his own, the same one, not entirely sure. But considering he found Tom, you'd have to think it's one similar to ours. A lot of fun there, some playful banter about the fact that Casper Darling's actor does the voice for Alan Wake, and Alan Wake's actor is Tom Zane, but doesn't do the voice for Alan. Little joke there about how shockingly in shape Dr. Casper was, which we saw in a video at the end of Control. What I think is more interesting, especially after having played the Lake House, is we saw what happens when science and art work together when the artist isn't necessarily volunteering. I'll be very curious to see if we go down this path of what science and art can create when genuinely working in cohort. Either way, Casper Darling and Tom Zane teaming up together is a little terrifying. So before we continue with the truly story new game stuff, I feel like I left a couple of things undone in the initial playthrough. Our first one being the resolution to the nursery rhyme side quest. So I'm going to show you the end of that now.
What the?
I'm talking to you, ma'am.
Who is this? How do you know I'm here?
I've been monitoring your incessant tampering with my project. You have made some advantageous progress, however.
What project?
What project? So you've just been playing around with my test arrangements with absolutely no understanding of their function. The hubris.
Indeed.
But your interference with my research has come to its conclusion, and I'm interested to see the results. The trick, I believe, is in the manifestation of the nursery rhymes. Art becoming reality, the doorway being revealed, and or perhaps even someone entering it.
Get to the point.
Meddlesome and rude, I see. The point is that by your unwanted actions, you may have opened the way. And now I'll get
to observe what exactly occurs when a subject crosses the threshold. No. Wait, that's not right. What is that? Do you see?
What? Hello? Hey, are you there?
Sounds like this person got more than they bargained for. Ugh, this stuff again. There's something else in there, too. This will be handy.
So we had already learned that the nursery rhyme experiment started in the lake house and was kind of relocated, or at least the people running it were. And now we know what happened to the lead. I don't remember their name. Campbell, maybe? I know we read it in the Lake House DLC. It seems they were the ones that encountered the threshold, and I'm assuming things didn't go well there. The other thing we left, I don't know if I should say unfinished, but undiscovered, is we saw a lot of signage for the mayor. I think it's time we go meet the mayor.
And now, the sheriff's station? Did you hear?
Hear what?
Apparently, they locked up that crime writer, you know, the one who disappeared in Bright Falls years ago. And then they find
Oh.
him, and boom, all hell
Hello,
breaks
Mayor Setter.
Big city folk.
Nice to meet you.
FBI, famous writers. Ugh, they're all bad luck if you ask me.
Yet another reason that proves politics are a joke. Saga does meet two other people. I shouldn't say meet. She already knows them. But she runs into them again at the end of the game. Before we get into the finale, let's see who else Saga runs into.
We were afraid we'd miss you again. So good to see you.
Glad we caught you, kiddo. We missed you first time around.
First time?
We've been performing on Door's show. We finally buried the hatchet.
I haven't buried shit, bro. We're just helping Tom.
I'm leaving the dark place. Come with me.
Our time back there is done. But you got this, dear Saga. Adi has set up a puddle for you to swim out of. Once more with feeling.
I wish we'd gotten more time together.
This isn't goodbye, kiddo. Tom told us not to say anything about what's coming. But we'll see each other again.
The old gods live. And not only that, but it sounds like we'll be seeing them and by extension Saga again. Which makes sense. I had the theory that Saga was Warlindor's daughter. And I highly doubt we're done with that character. So hopefully we get to see the gang all together again soon. That's going to be it for Saga side, minus the actual ending, of course. But there's some things I've been holding back. Do we remember that Alan went to the Parliament Tower multiple times to try and get back to his apartment, right? Well, in the original game, we'd go into the towers, we'd take the elevator up and get to the apartment. In the New Game Plus, however, something different happens each time we go to the elevator. Here they are.
Alice. What was that? Like a ray of warm light, I felt her presence. It gave me strength to go on.
Alan, you must hurry.
Alice's presence was here. like the sun coming out from behind dark clouds. It pushed me forward. I'd been here many times before. I didn't know how many. This felt different, like my last chance, if it wasn't already too late.
Alan, I'm sorry.
Feeling Alice's presence filled me with light and made me stronger. I had to reach her.
These are not Alice's only extra appearances in the game either. When we're running through the nursing center, this happens.
Alice? What was that? Alice was dead. Was this a trap? Or was Scratch torturing me?
Alan. Alan.
There she is again, and it feels like she's leading us through, almost. Otherwise, she leads us directly into Scratch, or maybe the darkness is trying to block us from her. I think there's a couple of ways to interpret that. We're almost done here. There's one more thing. We have one more conversation with Adi that felt like the dialogue was a little different to me, so I'm going to play it here. But I'm going to let that lead right into the new ending. And then we'll talk a little bit after it.
We'll loop around and come together, Tom. I have put everything ready for the visitors. I'll come to wash the floor of your room next. All you need is water and Vileda. Water is the oldest bulb. Water finds its way. What water brings, it takes away. It can be clean or dirty. It can give life or drown it.
Ahti. I didn't expect to see you here, but it makes sense. Can you help me find my way? One last time.
Now there's a devil in the fish trap. Don't be spooked by it so that shit won't start beating your underpants. Okay. I'll get the door open for you, Tom. There you go. The matter is a stake. Now comes the end of the rhyme.
Thank you, Ahti.
Alan?
Saga, I finished it. The ending we talked about.
I have the clicker and the bullet of light. Let's do this. I have to be the one to do it.
I see it clearly now. This part at least. Okay. We have met here before. Time loops in the dark place. Every choice you make affects everything that comes before and after you make it.
He's here.
Like it does when you change a detail in a story you're writing.
KC?
The end. Scratch. Now.
When the bullet of light blew the darkness out of the crater of my skull, the dark presence was born from the remains, feeding on the horror around it to grow. It found me writing. It tapped into me, influenced me. I was lost in my work. The link was severed when I finished Return, but the dark presence was hungry for more. And I was missing the small part of myself that it had been born from. Alice, love is strange. Even apart, we're still together in our memories. We put each other through hell to set us free. Again and again, different versions of us. Alice helped me get there, where I needed to be. It has taken so long. The process to change reality is so delicate, to be true in just the right way and still find a way past our flaws. So many drafts, so many photographs, so many lives lived outside of time, an eternity apart on this journey to finally arrive here.
Is it over? Anderson?
Logan? Logan! Are you alright?
I had a terrible nightmare. Can you come home, Mom?
Oh, baby. It's over now. You're alright. I'm here. I'm on my way home. I love you. She's alright.
The ending worked. Scratch is gone.
At last.
Thank you, my love. And so I return. With me I bear the torch of knowledge, the light, the miracle illuminated, the master of two worlds. No, the master of many worlds.
So there we go. The final change to New Game Plus is that Alice's video after the credits isn't there. Her plan worked. The darkness within Alan is defeated. It seems their powers combined. This game is really, truly incredible, and I think it used the New Game Plus very well. Knowing that everything's a spiral helped. The Master of Many Worlds thing ties into one of the DLCs we saw, although as those being Night Springs, I don't know how religiously we can take them. I don't know what this opens up for Alan or Saga or Alex Casey in the future, or Jesse or Sean Ashmore, who has multiple different characters across Remedy games. I don't know. I have no idea what the future is, but I'm really excited to see it. This was so much fun. Thanks for watching, and good night, Mom. Good night, wife. If you liked that video, go ahead and subscribe. And if you didn't, please email me and tell me why.